Well, welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joined today from Fitchburg Sustainability Specialist. He's the guy. He's the green guy. He's Phil. Phil, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Jeremy?
I'm excited because we've got our big recycling event coming up this weekend, and it's worth your time to come out and recycle some stuff because springtime, spring cleaning, you want to get all these things out of your way. I've got something that I want to bring in, Phil, because I want to make sure it doesn't get in there. I had a big chest freezer that broke, and
Oh, that's too
I'm
bad.
like, I could just imagine this. Like I could see it just being easily thrown into a dump. You
How are you going
know,
to keep your chest cold now?
well, that's a different story, and we're not going to talk about all the things that were lost in there. But besides that, let's talk about what is happening this weekend. Give me the details first.
All right, so we've got our biennial shred and recycling and med drop event at Civic Campus. It's this Saturday, the 29th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So we've got pellet areas on hand to shred confidential documents. We have resource solutions down to help with collecting various sizes of old electronics for recycling. And the police department will have their med drop opened up all for that 3 hour period as well. So if you've got unused, expired medications, bag those up and come drop them off. If you've got old electronics you need to get rid of. Of course, if they're still usable and you don't need them anymore, take them to a thrift store. That's a fantastic option. But if they're broken, if they can't be reused, bring those down and Resource Solutions will collect them. Got to take the batteries out. They're not collecting batteries for recycling. That can be done elsewhere, and there's information on that on the city's website as well. If you've got old confidential or any confidential papers that you need, old bills and credit card statements and things like that, if it's not confidential, just go ahead and recycle it in your blue bin. But if it needs to be shredded, you can bring that to campus and Pelletier will shred that and recycle it.
Yeah, and you'd be amazed at how many people bring out the documents. I've from the times that I've filmed this event, I'm always blown away by how much documents there are to turn in. I'm also like, well, this is good. We're getting it recycled in a good way. But I do want to focus in on the electronics. There are some extra cost fill in some of the electronic recycling, and it's
Mhm.
for good reason. They're it's hard to recycle them, so it takes a little bit more power to get them apart and move them through the system. But what would we be looking at for possible extra fees?
So if you bring in a TV, a flat screen monitor, costs for that can range from 20 up to $60 depending on the size. If you're bringing in larger appliances, fridges, freezers, chest freezers, items with Freon like dehumidifiers and AC units, microwaves and large copiers. So both because you mentioned the complexity of recycling them, but also they're just so large that weight adds cost to the company. So if you have smaller items, small electronics, laptops, power strips, VCRs. Those are all free of charge to recycle. So you can look this up. We have a flyer on our website. If you search the city's website for 2023 Recycling Day, link will pop up to this, and there's a link both to the flyer that Resource Solutions has been mailing out, but also a two-page flyer that we put together. The city did that has a lot of information on what can be recycled and what the cost would be.
Yeah, it's a very helpful document if you're interested in either resource. Definitely is good. Phil, the big question I think, and the most important piece is what is the importance of recycling these items versus just throwing them in that trash can at the end of the day? What are we doing here that really is going to you're helping in so many ways by doing the recycling properly?
So there are multiple reasons for this. One of them is just keeping items out of the landfill. Uh, Folks might have heard that the county is looking at a new landfill site across the highway from the current one that's out east of 3990. Landfill space does go away as we throw more and more things away. A landfill gets filled up. You've got to go look for new sites for it. So we really want to make these landfills lifetimes as long as we possibly can and keep things out of the landfill that don't need to go in there. Another one is that certain electronics can leach materials, and of course landfills, they're set up in a way to try to minimize that leaching into groundwater and soil. But still, we can help minimize that possibility by recycling electronics, things that have these metals and components that that could be problematic if they were to leak out. And the third one is that anytime new electronics are created, it costs materials, and that requires mining, that requires a lot of shipping from frequently international from other countries. Um, if we can recycle electronics, we can recapture some of those resources and not have to go extract virgin resources for everything. So kind of that triple benefit of recycling is electronics, all really good reasons to participate in an event like this.
All right, Phil, we had to keep it short. I appreciate your time. If people do want to find out more resources on recycling outside of this event or beyond, where can they find those resources?
We have a recycling guide on the city's website. You can go check that out. There's information, either the PDF guide, or you can print that out. There's also a search bar on the city's website if you look for that for recycling and refuse. This is under the public works kind of hierarchy of links on the city website. Check out, if you need to search for, you're not sure how different things are recycled, if they're recyclable, and if so, how to dispose of them properly. Go check that out.
All right, Phil, thank you so much. We'll see you out
Thanks,
at the
Jeremy.
event this Saturday.